Hey, before we start this video, I want to give a shout out to the person who gave me the encouragement to start making these videos again after my 8-month hiatus, and that is Benjamin Cadnam of Cadnam Crabtree Farms. He's a fellow YouTuber. He makes ag-related content. Check him out on YouTube. Thank you. So in this video, I want to ask, do you have an absolute right to vote? The ability to vote has been brought up in recent times with the new voting ID law in Georgia. The media is calling it a Jim Crow voter restrictive law. It's not. It's not at all. The only way it could be is if they made the state-issued IDs more expensive for blacks or Hispanics. They don't. If they made the driver's test, if you're getting a driver's license, which 99+% of the time it is, if they made that driver's test more difficult for blacks or Hispanics than they do for whites, they don't. And if they required blacks or Hispanics to provide an ID, but whites, they didn't. You're required to provide an ID anytime you want to buy a case of beer, a pack of cigarettes, a Playboy. So why wouldn't we require you to provide an ID when you want to vote? If we don't require you to provide an ID when you want to vote, how else are we going to stop you from traveling around your electoral district, voting over and over again for your preferred candidates? Also, the voting law actually increases the amount of early voting time you have in the state of Georgia. In the state of New Jersey, under non-pandemic situations, you have 9 days worth of early voting. In Georgia, you have 17 days worth of early voting. Now, I would argue that there should be no early voting, no absentee voting. It should be election day or you don't vote at all. You've known this day was coming for the last 2 to 4 years, if it's a midterm or if it's a regular election. How much forewarning do you need to know to not take a vacation the day before election day if you care that much about voting? Hint, election day is coming up. It's the same day every year. Or it comes around the same time every year. So if you care about voting, don't go on a vacation right before then. Early voting, shouldn't you hear every side from every candidate before you make your decision? Now, I knew who I was going to vote for weeks prior to the 2020 election. But that's because I know that's because the Democratic platform is contrary to my religious beliefs. But if you are a more centrist voter, shouldn't you wait till election day to make that final decision rather than voting before you've heard all sides that the candidates have to say? Also, mail-ins. Now, back prior to the 13th Amendment, 19th Amendment, in the early days of the Constitution, voting was limited to land-owning individuals, mostly white males. Now, I agree that is too restrictive of a voting populace. There are many women, land-owning or not, who are intelligent and well-informed enough to cast a ballot. There are many blacks who are intelligent and well-informed enough to cast a ballot. There are plenty of Hispanics who are well-informed enough and intelligent enough to cast a ballot. But we have to have an intelligent, well-informed voting populace, or else you just keep the stupidity or intelligence of the people that they elect are a symptom of the lack of intelligence or lack of informedness of informity of the voting base. So shouldn't we restrict the ability to vote to those who are willing to give enough of a damn to get off their ass and go in and vote on election day? It is not my job to make you care about voting. I might, if there's a special election coming up and I personally know you, I might call you up or text you and say, hey, there's a special election on this date, and this is what we're voting on, and here's where you can go and vote. But I can't make you care about that special election. I also can't make you care about the regular election or the midterms. You have to take that prerogative upon yourself. I can't make you vote. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.